expressing myself and addressing of things that, I don't know, I guess that I've been through and got me to the point where I'm at today. Very happy and moving forward and positive, and no longer kind of playing the victim or being the victim of my surroundings and my interpretations of reality and my realities and how I react to those realities. So I guess that's my point, is I've been doing some soul searching and some changing, and I'm very happy with the outcome, to say the least. I'm super excited with the changes I've made in my life, and that I'm helping to kind of usher in change with my son as well and our family approach to life. And it's really been wonderful. I mean, I've seen some amazing changes in my son. I've seen amazing changes in myself, just from the way I feel and the way I look, the way I present myself, the way I interact with people. And it's really just about one thing, and that's having a positive mindset and, going into situations and meeting people and interacting with people, understanding and going into a situation with the assumption that they're not out to get you, which is hard. We're all defensive a lot of times, but again, that comes from our relationships in the past and the situations that we've gone through and where we want to be in the future, right? So we got things that we can control and things that we can't control. Your environment and situational characteristics we can't change. They're just a part of our life that we can't alter, and the only thing that we can alter and the only thing that we can control is really the way we react to those things. And I've been reading the book 7 Habits of Effective People, or whatever the title is. It's a great book, obviously, but seriously, it is a great book. But one of the things that they harp on, and one of the things that they mention is being present, living in the moment, not dwelling in the past, and not worrying so much about the future, which is really, again, where I've been living, is in the moment and in the present, and trying to make my decisions based on that time. I can only control myself and the way I react to my situation and in my environment. I can't control anything else. I can only control my reaction. And in that book, they call it responsibility, and we kind of have a negative connotation to what we perceive as responsibilities in life. We think of the word responsibility, we think of have-tos, and then we think of something we have to do, something we is put on us by somebody else. And really, responsibility is our ability to respond to a certain situation. We have the ability to control, and the responsibility really to control the way we respond. We're given a certain circumstance, we're given an opportunity to react, and we control that reaction. So that's where that responsibility comes into play, and accountability as well. You have the ability to respond. So how are you going to do it? Are you going to allow your external influences and external factors, people that are in your world, what you want out of your future and the crap that you've been through in the past? Are you going to let that drive your decision in that moment, or are you going to be responsible and accountable and make that decision for yourself? Obviously there are certain situations that you can't control anything, right? Fight or flight type situations. You're about to get shot. You run, duck, shoot, shit, whatever you're going to do, right? You can only react in certain situations, in certain circumstances that, but those are outliers. But I'm talking everyday life and everyday situations, relationships. You control your reaction. You control how you interact with people and how you dictate that situation in life and what you're going to get out of it. And I've been expressing this with Miles a lot lately and trying to get him to understand. He's 10, and that's hard. That's a big concept for young kids to really grasp, is their place in the world and how much their actions have consequences and carry forward in not only that situation in that very moment, but their actions dictate where they are in the future, whether that be 5 minutes, 5 years, 5 days. And that's another rule that we have in our house, 5 by 5. Is it going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter you can look at it as an opportunity. You have the responsibility, right? You have the ability to respond to that situation, that circumstance that you're in, that you need to take the dog out. You can look at it as an opportunity to bond with your dog. You can look at it as an opportunity to get some exercise, take a walk, spend some time outside, get some fresh air, as an opportunity to bond with yourself, take that moment, and not look at it as an opportunity, as a responsibility or a have to. Kind of flip the script. You get to take your dog for a walk and spend that time with her so you can put her in the crate knowing that she's going to be happy and safe and feel good about being in that space while you go on and carry on your day. Because if you think about it, that dog is stressed because you're getting ready to leave. The dog knows. They hear the jingling of the keys or what have you. You can make it a shitty situation for that dog, outlining your responsibilities and taking that dog out, having to take the dog out so you can go and do your thing, which is probably maybe a good thing that you're going to do, maybe a bad thing. But again, you have the ability and the wherewithal and the human and the distinct human ability to decide how you react and not rely on just external factors, fight or flight, and instinct. You can make sound, proper decisions. And making those decisions and thinking about it and taking a second to step back and say, am I making the right decision for that moment in time? And not letting your past dictate that, all the garbage that you've been through, or the future that you want. If you make that decision based on the best outcome for that situation, I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you, so again, I'm not going to write my life on it, but living every day in the moment, living in the moment, making good, sound decisions, you will get to where you want to be. You will have the future you want. You will be happy because you're happy right in that moment. You're making the decision based on your needs and what you want, instead of taking accountability or cues from somebody's going to be mad at me, somebody's going to feel this way about it. Oh, I remember it going this way one time. How is it going to go this time? Really, just drop that. Don't let that mind fuck you, so to speak. And I'm sorry to use that language, but don't let that invade your space and invade your thought process on making the sound decision. If you live on those past moments, or if you live in fear or anticipation of the future, your decisions will be clouded, and you will not be in that moment. You will not end up where you want to be in the long run, right? So if you make those sound decisions and you take that time, take that moment, step back, anticipating how somebody else is going to react to the way you're reacting. Again, they control that. You don't. You can't control your reaction. All you can do is control your reaction and yourself and your self-awareness. And really, that's just kind of the note that I want you to take away from today in this conversation is, your accountability, your responsibility are all in your center and in your circle of control. Your circle of influence and those external things, you want to get those dumbed down and drown those out with what you can control. The more that you focus on what you can control and you don't let those external factors manipulate your decision making and clog your mind, you'll be so much happier, and you will have that awareness and that self-doubt in your decision making process will go away, because you're relying on actual data. You're relying on things that are tangible. It's hard to explain, but you're not relying on emotion so much anymore, and you're relying on the drivers that really need to, that change the outcome of one situation or another. So I know I'm just rambling at this point. I'm going to keep going though, because I want to touch on a few other things. That I think will make sense and hopefully will come to me. I sit down and talk to myself all the time, and all these things come out of my mouth, and all these wonderful, prolific thoughts, and all this stuff that I really, really should be writing down or using my voice memo or recording video, and I forget to do it. So I got a new computer on the way, and once I have that, I'll be able to edit videos and kind of put these thoughts down and not get so frustrated with things. So again, I guess we'll go back to the whole plank and being the victim. When you don't have that responsibility, when you don't have that accountability, and you are relying on external cues and factors that are out of your control to make your decisions, that is when you have the issue of, again, I lost my train of thought. Oh, that's when you fall into playing a victim. So you rely on the external cues and external factors to help drive your decision, and then when that decision is either wrong or fails, you blame the external cues. Oh, well, if I did it this way, so-and-so is going to get mad, or I've done it this way in the past and it hasn't worked out, or whatever the excuse may be. That's what ends up being. It's an excuse. You're not comfortable enough making your decisions. You are not responsible enough. You don't have the ability yet to respond and control your response. You haven't become to that cognitive moment to where you realize that you respond and you control that response, and it impacts your daily life across the board. It impacts your relationships, and it could, and in turn, your future, where you end up. So the more you rely on those external cues to make those decisions, and then fault those decisions and use them as a scapegoat or an excuse, the more you play victim, and the more you have that victim card, and the more you end up in that negative, oh, well, it happened this way, and you get down on yourself, right? If you're proactive and you make that decision on your instinct, on your response, and your input, and you're proactive in that decision, you are no longer shit, that happens. We fail. That's part of growing up. That's part of life. If you fail, hope to God you learn from it and move forward, right? If you don't, then that's a big issue, right? If you keep failing and keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, you're not learning from it, you got a problem there. And that's what I keep trying to relay to Miles. And I understand he's 10 years old, so he doesn't get a lot of these concepts, but I try to break it down as granular as I can. But you control the outcome, and you get your decision to interact and the way you react drives the other person's decision to react. And hopefully they are in the same space you are, and they are thinking and assuming that you're not coming at them in a threatening manner. They assume that you have positive intent. Again, you need to go into life assuming that your interactions and people that you are going to be talking to are not out to get you. They have positive intent as well. And if we can all live that way, and if we can all be in that mode, making critical decisions based on, no one's out to get me, one. Two, we're working as a team to hopefully have the same outcome or a better outcome. Three, we're focusing on the factors at hand that need to be involved in this decision or whatever the case may be. And then four, you're looking for this, the outcome is going to be better one way or another. I guess what I'm trying to drive home is don't get hung up in where you've been or where you want to go, because you can't change where you've been. You can't predict the future. You have no idea what's going to happen 1 minute to the next. Live today in the moment. Live this moment in the moment. And make your decisions and live your life based on your internal control mechanisms and what you can control in your life. Do not allow the external influences, the noise, the media, other people's perception or perceived reaction to your decision or action or whatever the case may be. Don't allow those to dictate your decision. Be proactive in your approach to life. Be responsible. You have the ability to control your responses. Use them. Respond appropriately. Take a moment and think through your response. Think through your decisions. Think through your reaction, and think through what you're going to say to that person to have the best outcome in that situation, because that's what dictates your future. That moment in time becomes your past and is right now, and it's the only thing that you can control. If you want to build a beautiful past and have a wonderful future to look forward to, focus on right now. Make the decisions that you know need to be made, and do it with your best interest in mind. Nobody else's, unless you got a partner, and include them in that. I hope y'all have some kind of, I hope this is beneficial to somebody out there. Please comment, leave questions. I'd love to talk more. I'd love to dive into this, get conversations going about, being a single parent, being a parent in general, because it's not easy one way or another. It's not easy if you have a partner. Sometimes it makes it even more complicated, to be honest with you. And then that's Miles and I struggle. We are so much of a team. We're so bonded that, I feel like sometimes it might be difficult to break into our little shell. But we're trying to make sure that we are inclusive of people around us, and we aren't in our own bubble. And again, that's kind of one of the things that I want to get out there. We want to invite you to have fun with us and be a part of this adventure, and really, we want you to grow with us. We'd love to hear how you and your family are, how you do things in your house, the cardinal rules, how you carry those into school, how you carry them at home, how you carry those into the relationships that you have. These are just some of the rules and ways that we live in our household, and it's, everybody has their own things, and this situation with 2020. We thought that was a shit show, and then we got 2021, and that's been pretty fantastic too, right? I mean, we got those external influences, and if you allow those to victimize you, you will be the victim. You will not be proactive. You will not get to where you want to go, and you won't build the future that you want. So just take a look back and really question yourself. Are you being accountable? Are you being responsible? Are you making your decisions based on your perceived, consequences of what the situation will bring? Or are you making the sound decision on that moment in time with the best information you have? Get your emotions out of things sometimes, and sometimes it can be a little bit more cut and dry. Always doesn't have to be so reactive all the time either. Again, if you're proactive in your approach to thinking through life and thinking through the decisions that you're presented with, you won't be put into a reactive situation. You kind of won't put yourself in those situations. And again, there's certain times and certain situations that you can't avoid it, but make calculated decisions in your day and in your life, small to big. You can help yourself by not putting yourself into situations where you're setting yourself up for failure. Because again, that's that victim flag, that red flag where you ask for something that is unattainable, or you want something or need something, or you think that you need something, or whatever those cases are, something that's unattainable, and you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't let yourself do that. Don't play that victim role, because it will perpetuate itself, and you'll find yourself extremely miserable. Be proactive. Be your own hero. Go after it, dude. Be everything that you want to be. Like the Ava brothers say, find what you want to be and go be it. Get after it, you guys. Be positive. Shed a light for somebody else. If you could do it, for somebody, one person a day, they'll hopefully do it for one person a day. It's a chain reaction, and will fucking change the world. So I love you guys. Be positive. Be on the lookout. I'm going to do more posts and more mind dumps, mind streams, live streams, all the streams. Look for me and Miles and Monk. You got Monk supporter right here. Love you guys. I got to jump on another call with my boss. So again, be positive. Lots of love. Cheers.